Who is Anthony Fauci? Dr. Anthony S. Fauci is an American physician, scientist, and immunologist who is one of the world's most recognized and respected figures in public health. He served as the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, for 38 years, from 1984 to 2022, and was the first chief medical advisor to the president, a role he held under President Joe Biden. In short, he was America's top infectious disease expert for decades, advising 7 U.S. presidents on numerous health crises. Key roles and responsibilities. Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. As director, he was responsible for a massive portfolio of basic and applied research to prevent, diagnose, and treat infectious, immunologic, and allergic diseases. He oversaw research that led to major advancements in understanding and combating diseases like HIV/AIDS, influenza, tuberculosis, malaria, Ebola, and Zika. Chief medical advisor to the president. While he had advised presidents since the Reagan administration, President Biden formalized this role, making him his chief medical advisor. This position involved providing direct advice to the president on public health matters, most notably the COVID-19 pandemic.
When you're dealing with a new outbreak, things change.
And dismissing claims he played any part in a suggested cover-up of COVID origins.
The accusation being circulated is absolutely false and simply preposterous.
The doctor, who retired 18 months ago, back in the spotlight as part of a Republican-led investigation into the pandemic's origins and response. A hearing at times turning testy.
Mr. Fauci, because you're not doctor, that man does not deserve to have a license. As a matter of fact, it should be revoked and he belongs in prison.
Suspend.
Fauci explaining what he meant when he testified behind closed doors in January that the 6-foot social distancing rule sort of just appeared, according to transcripts, now clarifying it came from the CDC with no clinical trials done.
You didn't feel an obligation as the lead scientist at the NIH to challenge that.
I've challenged the CDC multiple times.
Fauci served in his government role since 1984, advising 7 presidents of both parties, and was a prominent expert in the fight against diseases like HIV/AIDS. Back when COVID started spreading, he became the pandemic's public face, appearing in briefings, in magazines.
Here's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Major contributions and impact. Dr. Fauci's career is defined by his leadership during major public health crises. Number 1, the HIV/AIDS epidemic, 1980s present. This is arguably where Dr. Fauci made his most significant and lasting mark. Pioneering research. He conducted crucial research that helped clarify how HIV destroys the body's defenses, leading to AIDS. Bridging science and activism. Initially criticized by AIDS activists like Larry Kramer's ACTU Up for the slow pace of government research, Fauci famously changed his approach. He listened to the activists, began including them in the clinical trial planning process, and helped accelerate drug testing and approval. This transformed the relationship between the scientific establishment and patient communities. PEPFAR. He was one of the principal architects of the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief under President George W. Bush. This program is credited with saving over 25 million lives worldwide, primarily in Africa, by providing antiretroviral drugs and prevention services. Number 2, the COVID-19 pandemic, 2020 to 2022. For many people, Dr. Fauci is the face of the American scientific response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Public communicator, he became a household name through his daily press briefings where he explained complex scientific information about the virus, vaccines, and public health measures like masking and social distancing. A trusted voice to millions, he was a calm, credible, and authoritative voice of science and reason during a time of great uncertainty and fear. Political target. His straightforward scientific guidance often conflicted with the political messaging of the Trump administration. This made him a highly polarizing figure, praised by his supporters for his integrity, but fiercely criticized by opponents who disagreed with public health mandates and accused him of shifting his recommendations. Other major health crises. Throughout his career, he led the U.S. response to numerous other outbreaks, including West Nile virus, the 2001 anthrax attacks, pandemic influenza, swine flu, bird flu, SARS and MERS, other coronaviruses, Ebola, and Zika. Life after government. Dr. Fauci stepped down from his government positions at the end of 2022. He did not retire completely and is now a distinguished university professor at Georgetown University with a joint appointment in the School of Medicine and the McCourt School of Public Policy. Awards and recognition. He is one of the most cited scientists in history and has received numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, 2008, the highest civilian honor in the United States, awarded by President George W. Bush for his work on PEPFAR, the National Medal of Science, the Lasker Award, often called America's Nobel,